What's up, guys? Welcome to the lesson, Mastering Your Mindset. So here's what's covered. We're going to go over the importance of mastering your mindset, why your mind is so important to your success, and how you can really take control of it to essentially dictate your destiny. We're going to go over defining your why and also your success. Why are you doing this, right? Why did you embark on this journey in the first place? And what is that level of success for you, right? Where do you want to be? What are your goals? What is your vision, right? So we're going to go over defining why you're doing this and where you want to be in the future. Next is the potential of YouTube automation. And so what is the potential of this? How far can we take it? How far can this business really grow? Right? Is the sky really the limit, or is there a certain point where it caps? We're going to show you literally case studies of my personal channels that we've scaled to millions of dollars, and it's really going to show you how beautiful this process is. Right? This is not a side hustle. This is a full-time company that we're building here that's going to create generational wealth for you. Next, we're going to go over the reasons why people fail. Right? So essentially the Achilles heel of people who go through this process. Right? The people who give up. We're going to go over exactly what these are so that you can avoid these steps to make sure that you have the highest chance for success. Next, we're going to go over how to become the new you. Because if you want to be somewhere where you've never been before, then you have to become someone who you've never been. Right? So we're going to go over how you can transform yourself to become a new and transformed version of yourself. Next, we're going to go over my promise to you. So my promise to you inside this program, exactly what we're going to go over and what you're actually going to achieve inside of this program. So let's get right into it, guys. The importance of mastering your mindset, okay? We are all working towards results, but we have to understand, how are results created, right? How are they created in the first place? Because if we reverse engineer this, then we're able to understand the quickest and the best path towards getting the optimized and the best results possible. So results always start off with thoughts, right? One day you probably thought, hey, I want to change in my life. I want something different. I want to build a business. I want to make passive income, or I want to quit my 9-to-5. That was the thought that popped up into your head. And that thought turned into feeling. It was an emotion inside of you that said, I need to take action right now. I hate my boss. I don't like my 9-to-5. I'm not living the life I want. I don't feel fulfilled with what I'm doing. And that's why you took action. You took action to invest into this program because of that emotion that drove you. And that emotion only happened because you had thoughts first. So thoughts, feelings, and action can only lead to results. Okay? And so right now, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to think where you want to be in the future. I want you guys to take your thoughts, where you want to be, why you're doing this. Really emotionalize that inside, deep down. Why are you doing this? And once you emotionalize that and you attach that to your goals, now you can take relentless action, nonstop action to reach the result. Because if you go through this process and you take nonstop action, I'm telling you, there's no reason why you won't get some insane results inside this program and to reach financial freedom inside of your life. And so in order for us to get results, we need to have really clear thoughts of where we want to be, really visualize where you're going to be in the next few weeks, next few months, and next few years. Once you can visualize that, emotionalize it. And after you emotionalize it, take action to get to where you want to be. And that's how you get insane results. Next, we're going to go over defining your why and your success. So what does being successful mean to you? Right? A lot of people say, oh, he's so successful. Oh, I want to be successful. What does that even mean? Right? What does even being successful mean? Right? Because it's so subjective. And so to define it is so important, because now you have an attainable goal that you can actually reach. Right? Is it financial freedom? Right? Do you want to have the financial resources to do the things you want? To buy that car, to buy that house, to maybe buy your mom that purse that she's always wanted, whatever it may be, finance related. Or is it time? Spend more time with your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your family, your children, right? Have the time to be able to go travel and not be bound to your 9-to-5. Could that be one of the reasons? Or maybe it's achieving personal goals. Maybe you set a goal in your life that you want to achieve certain things. Maybe building a business, maybe making passive income, making your family proud, whatever it might be, or it might be a combination of all three. right? Mix and match. Why do you want to succeed? What is it? You really need to define that before we move forward. So right now, what I want you to do is I want you to take a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to write down your goals. Right? What does being successful mean to you? Write it down in detail. Visualize it. Is it financial freedom, time freedom, achieving personal goals? And I want you to read that to yourself again and again, because this is why you're doing this. This is why you're on this journey, so you can get to that destination of financial freedom, time freedom, and achieving the goal of why you're here on this earth. I want you to really do that. Take that time right now, write your goals down, and we'll move forward. So I want to let you guys in on my why and you know, the reason why I embarked on this journey in the first place. And you know, and I'm just going to open up and be vulnerable with you guys. You know, I wasn't always the owner of a 7-figure business. I wasn't always successful. You know, in the picture on the left over here, I was literally working a 9-to-5 job, shredding paper for hours and hours on end. It was a really terrible experience. I worked at a real estate law firm. I was in the basement. I literally had that corner there, and the black machine that you see there is a paper shredder. I was there for 8 hours just shredding paper, and again and again and again. I had to take the paper clips off of all the papers, and I had to use scissors, and my hands were literally so numb. I think I got carpal tunnel from, you know, shredding papers all day. So it was a terrible experience. I was working in the real estate law firm, and you know, all the lawyers were super entitled. So you know, they'll call me around doing this, doing that chore. I was getting coffee for them. It was not a great experience at all. Getting paid minimum wage. And I remember sitting in that same exact chair, just thinking to myself, like, is this what I want for the rest of my life? You know, working a 9-to-5 job, climbing the corporate ladder, and just kissing up to other people. And I told myself, like, at that point, I was so depressed. Like on the picture on the right, I was in school, and my friend caught this picture of me just sleeping, and you know, it wasn't a good time. It wasn't a good time at all, because I felt depressed. I was broke. I was not where where I wanted to be in life, and I wanted so much more. And I knew I was destined for so much more. I know God placed me here for a reason, and you know, I wasn't destined to shred paper for 8 hours a day at a 9-to-5 job, getting paid minimum wage. That's just not it, right? And so what I did was I started studying. I started studying into different businesses, exploring, you know, what is out there for me. You know, what can I actually build so that instead of working for other people, I work for myself. I become my own boss, and I become an entrepreneur, building something of substance and living a financially free life. I started exploring different business models, you know, Shopify, dropshipping, Amazon FBA, affiliate marketing, you know, social media marketing, all these different things. And you know, I explored a lot of different models, and I lost a lot of money in different business models. But throughout the whole entire process, I gained the assets to be able to learn what it means to fail. Right? Failing is such an important aspect of growing. And if it wasn't for all those past failures in my different businesses, I wouldn't have, you know, became as successful with YouTube automation. And long story short, I stumbled upon YouTube automation, and initially I thought, whoa, what is this? This is way too good to be true. You're telling me you can make passive income without making any videos? And you know, initially I had a lot of skepticism going into it, but you know, I'm the type of person to just relentlessly implement, take action. And so that's exactly what I did. Even though I had a little skepticism, I implemented, and soon did I realize, you know, my channel started taking off, and I started rinsing and repeating the process again and again. And I noticed, wow, this is a process that you can duplicate without, you know, having to put much more work into it. And so long story short, now we've been able to build literally a 7-figure business. We have several channels cash flowing. Now I'm living the life of my dreams because of the effort that I put in to build these YouTube automation channels, to take that risk in my life, and to really run from that life of the 9-to-5. Right? I did not want to do that for the rest of my life, and I took the action relentlessly to be where I am today. Now I can literally, you know, book a whole entire week off on my calendar, and I don't have to go to anyone. I don't have to ask anyone. It's because I'm my own boss now. I have the freedom to do that because I built this business. I have income. I have the financial freedom. I have the time freedom, and I'm achieving the things that I want in life, so I feel fulfilled. How amazing is that? This all happened in a matter of a few years. And so if I can do it, so can you. There was nothing special about me. I don't have a high IQ. I wasn't the smartest kid in school. I wasn't any of that. The only thing that makes me different is my work ethic. I keep implementing, I keep taking action. When I fail, I learn from those lessons and I move on forward. I keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. And that's how I got to where I am today. And so hopefully my story can inspire you that it is possible. If a person who is shredding paper for 8 hours a day, getting paid minimum wage, can build a 7-figure business from scratch, so can you. So I want to show you guys the potential of YouTube automation, really the empire that we have built in just a short few years, and to show you guys, the good, the bad, the ugly in this business, so that you guys can know, wow, this is really where you can take it. So guys, I want to show you the potential of YouTube automation, how much you can actually make on this platform. So this channel so far, I'm going to show you a lot of different channels, small, medium, and large, so you can see where you could potentially be with your channel in the coming months and also the coming years. So with this channel, we made over $70,000, and some months we were generating $12,000, $9,000, $8,000, $4,000 month after month in passive income. So really, really good stuff. And I would say this is like a medium-sized channel where you're generating anywhere from $2,000 to $12,000 a month. Now you can really, really take this to the moon. But of course, this doesn't come overnight, right? We post a lot of videos on this channel again and again for us to generate these results. So these results don't come overnight. But this goes to show you this can really replace your full-time income, right? Not many people in the US or even around the world make $70,000 a year. No, not many. Like you literally need to climb the corporate ladder for a long time to earn this type of salary. And so for you to be generating this much on one YouTube channel, that's pretty insane. So let's hop on to another channel so you can see other results of what we got going on with some of our channels. So on this channel, we have some lower months where it's $500, $100, $900, and months where it's making $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, so on and so forth. So really, really good income and passive income is bringing in. What would an extra $3,000 to $5,000 do for you per month? How would your life change? Think about that. And this is a channel on the smaller end, right? I haven't even showed you one of my biggest channels yet. So let me hop over to that and show you the results from one of my bigger channels. So this is one of our bigger channels. This is actually one of my biggest channels right now. And this month, not this year, this month alone, it's made $208,000. Guys, look at this. Every single day, it's generating anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a day. Some lower days, $4,000. If you think about it, most people make $40,000 in a month. We made that in a day, and that's one of our lower days. That's crazy, huh? So this channel has made $200,000 in 1 month and around 108 million views. And let me show you guys the lifetime of this channel in the last year or so. This channel has generated 600 million views and has made us $1.5 million. Guys, this one channel has generated us over 7 figures, $1 million from one channel in less than a year. Guys, look at this. From zero, slowly scaling up to $10,000, $12,000 days. How insane is that? And just every single day, it's just coming in and coming in, coming in. This is the power of YouTube automation. And we have this whole entire thing automated. So I'm no longer in this business anymore. I've taken myself out of the equation and I have team members doing everything for me. But guys, this doesn't happen overnight. This takes a lot of effort, right? A lot of nurturing in the beginning to build a system, to have the right processes in place. Most people give up before they even get to this point. So guys, don't give up. This is the potential of YouTube automation. Now, I can't promise you're going to have a channel that's going to make $1.5 million. Matter of fact, I can promise you that's probably not going to happen because this is a rarity. I have this skill and this process refined to a craft. At some point, we were one of the biggest channels on YouTube. One of the biggest and fastest growing channels on YouTube. So I don't expect your channel to be at the pace that we're growing at. But If you implement my processes, you can get a sliver of this pie. And even if you make, $5,000-$10,000 a month, which kind of pales in comparison, but that's still a tremendous amount of money. That's 6 figures per year. Your life will be completely changed. And so this, guys, is the potential of YouTube automation. This life-changing passive income. This is not a side business. Don't think of this as a side business. This is a full-fledged company that we're building here that can feed your life and future generations. This will build you generational wealth. And I hope you who's watching right now can create a channel just as big, if not bigger than mine someday as well. So now we're gonna go over the reasons why people fail so we can avoid these mistakes and have the highest chance for success. So the only reason you may still fail, even though I give you the full YouTube automation blueprint, is if you're unwilling to upgrade your thinking. So what does that mean? 90% of your results will come from how you think and not actually what you do. You can't get somewhere new with old ways of thinking and doing things. To achieve a goal you never had, you must become someone you've never been. And that's deep. Let me say that one more time. To achieve a goal you never had, you must become someone you never been. The only way to achieve a bigger goal is to level up your mindset and to become a better version of yourself. And so the question is, how do you become the new you? How do you become a better version of who you were? And so the first step is to let go of old thinking, old beliefs, old fears, and old perspectives. Okay? Let go of the limiting beliefs your parents told you when you were growing up. Let go of the old perspectives that are not serving you currently. The limiting beliefs that people told you in the past, let go of those. Do not let somebody that's unqualified with no results give you some suggestions and take it as a fact. I know all too well, going to a family dinner and, that uncle or that aunt tells you the things that you're doing aren't good. Just go to college, just go to a 9-to-5 job, do whatever. And sometimes that can really, get under your skin. And I know exactly how you feel sometimes. The words that they say, especially when it's family, even though it might be one sentence or one phrase, it sticks with you because, when you're on this journey, you're very different. You're straying off the path of what most people are doing. And so, a lot of things that they say aren't going to be aligned with your goals. And if you let that affect you, or if you let that stray you away from your path to your goals, then that is not good, right? Do not take suggestions of other people or what they say as fact. You have to be like, think of yourself as silk. You're wearing a cloak of silk, and whenever people try to throw something sticky at you, it doesn't stick. It just falls off, and all their comments just don't matter. Right? Don't let other people who are unqualified speak into your life. Be careful of the people that are making you feel small. The people who are telling you that you're not good enough. The people that are telling you that you can't make it, or being an entrepreneur isn't fit for you. That is all false. Be careful, right? Don't let people make you feel small, and distance yourself from these people that are negative. And finally, remove the word problem from your vocabulary and replace it with challenge. No one likes a problem. Everyone loves a challenge. Once you approach every single problem as if it's a challenge, this whole entire process becomes fun. You start to gamify the process of business, and at each level, instead of thinking, oh my goodness, it's another problem, it's another thing I have to deal with, it's a challenge, right? You go into a game, and each new level you start to upgrade, and you don't go to the next boss like, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? You go into like, oh my goodness, yes, I'm so excited. This boss is so hard, but it's a challenge. I'm going to need to level up. I'm going to need to get the necessary resources and equipment to be able to level as a person to meet that challenge and to beat that boss. And so once you view every step of your life as a new stage and a new boss, you start to gamify the process, and life just becomes so much easier for you because everyone else is viewing their life as a problem. Everyone else is viewing their challenge as a problem. But once you start to gamify and it's fun for you, man, you're going to blow past everyone else in your life. This is the one thing that's helped me explode in my business. Because when people are doing work, they're like, oh my goodness, this is such hard work. I'm working so hard. To me, I'm like, it's an absolute privilege. It's a privilege to work. It's a privilege to work 12, 14 hours a day. It's a privilege to be an entrepreneur. It's a privilege to own a business. Man, it's an absolute privilege. So instead of having the wrong mindset of, oh my goodness, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, no, it's a challenge. And once you have the right mindset, everything is gonna become so much easier. So I'm gonna go over my promise to you, and that is YouTube is gonna be a long-term game and not get rich quick scheme, okay? This is gonna be a long-term game. Overnight, you're not gonna see success. Some channels do pick up really quickly, but the majority of the time, it's gonna be several months. But the thing is, if you stick through it, you're gonna see a lot of success. Right? At times, you're going to feel lost, confused, and demotivated. And YouTube takes hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Yes, we can automate this whole entire process. Yes, we have people creating the content for us. Nonetheless, this is still a business that we're building. This is a real entity. And in order for us to prosper, we need to put in the work and the dedication it needs to actually grow. And if you stick to it and stay persistent, one day your channel will get picked up. That I can promise you, right? You're only really one video away from blowing up. All the effort you put in today will be worth it. YouTube is a business. It is not linear or stable. The growth is exponential, and most people give up before their work shows results. So don't be one of those people. Remember the previous lesson. Do not be one of those people. Persistence is key. So my summary for you guys, master your mindset because your thoughts and your beliefs are the starting points of your results. Defining your goals and your why will give you the reason for your actions, right? If you don't have a why or the reason why you want to succeed, all the actions that you take will be futile, be useless, right? Because there is no emotion attached behind that. And let go of your old limiting beliefs, right? YouTube is a long-term game, and we will be here for you every step of the way. And I want to leave you guys off with this quote by Napoleon Hill. Whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's do this, guys.